going for gold with the final installation of Sunday Funday. Bro, this will be the fourth video of today. I haven't done that many videos in a day in quite some time, but I'm always trying to. I know I have to do at least 3 on a Sunday, and I got through those 3, and Jesus got me juiced to get on to the fourth one. I have like a pet peeve. Have I ever, maybe occasionally once, pulled out a card and not read it. It'll sit there until I have to read it, and I have to read it. So what are we doing? We're going to read the energy, people. I'm going to read this card because we've gotten this card since the morning video. It's carried on throughout the day, and I don't want it to carry on for tomorrow. Now, with this card, this was going to be tomorrow's energy, so I'm going to carry on and pull out tomorrow's reading too, because I have plans for the morning when I would typically do our morning reading. Really? Let's get on with it. So we are on number 34. We're getting the gift from Ascending Master Merlin to be able to read the energy. What does that mean? It's all feelings. Card readers are like, we're going to check the energy. They need to see it to know what it is. Someone like me that reads energy, I just feel it. It's a feeling. Really? 34. I'm like, what am I looking for? I went to 43. It's like, that's not what I was looking for. Read the energy. Let me take a drink. Do you guys? Nope. You're just looking for answers and someone else that can do the job for you. When I started developing my psychic abilities, is what they call them, my gifts from the Holy Spirit, they were all scary, and I kept looking for someone to guide me, but there was nobody but my spirit to guide me. First off, I'm the highest level of this, so I probably experienced it way more than any person would because I'm, the home of it. But there was nobody outside of me. I learned to stop looking outside of me for answers and let my spirit guide me to the answers. We bring you the blessing of reading the energy. We affirm that you have the ability to read energy accurately. We encourage you to apply your gifts. You don't have to be in control of the inflow of divine information. When a message or insight comes to you naturally, this is best. Simply open and receptive as you intend to read the energy of the person, place, or situation at hand is enough. Whether you have been reading energetically for years or are just beginning your journey in interpreting energetic information, we are here to assist you in becoming confident and trusting your perceptive abilities. That's your intuition. You're being activated. You get a lot of visions and intuitive nudges throughout the whole day. I also teach light codes here, and that's how the universe is talking to you through number codes, through music, through animals, through synchronicities. Really? I teach you that, the language of the universe, but it all is, you feel it more than anything. This oracle comes to you with a great message that your perceptive abilities are a key part of your life's purpose and divine life's work. They call that in the Holy Bible, they call it the gift of discernment, the ability to see, perceive what you're, to have the eyes to see. So I'm not really even surprised because I was harping this little, harmonica all day. I was talking about how people don't have the vision. They don't see God. They don't hear God. You turn it off. Once you turn it back on, it's louder than what everybody else is saying. They can be in front of you and all you can hear is the voice of God, your inner guidance, the spirit guides, something. People can be right in front of you talking straight to your face and you're like, what? Were you listening? Not to you. Really? It's louder than anything. It's the loudest voice in the room. Really? Yeah. Developing, relying upon, and honoring what you sense energetically is helpful for your life's journey, as it assists you in making good choices. It is helpful for you. Excuse me. I'm getting a download. What is it? It's your only guidance system. You're walking blind. After your intuition turns on, you're walking by only that. It's your only guiding factor now. Everything outside of you doesn't make sense. You can't see it the way you saw it before. And it's helpful for others who can benefit from your ability to see what they may not yet be able to consciously recognize. When you share your perception of a place of unconditional love, non judgment, and genuine compassion, your reflection can help others gain awareness and insight, whether they can use, excuse me, which they can use to empower themselves, overcome fear, and move more wholly into love. This is a benefit to all. That's my ability, is to see the unseen and guide you through it, and it gives you peace. And that's exactly what it is to be a light worker. I did a teaching on that like 2 other days ago. Um, my ability to have a higher perception, which is, they call it higher vibration, is I see what the unseen. So it's like here, it's here. When you share your perception from a place of unconditional love, non-judgment, and genuine compassion, your reflection can help others gain awareness and insight, which is, I have the ability to change your direction by just changing your mind, which they can use to empower themselves and overcome fear and more and move more wholly in love. This is a benefit to all. And that's it. What do I get out of this? You going out and being a better person is all we can ask for out here. Just one person having a conscious mind that teaches them to be better is all I'm asking for. I'd like the world to be a better place for my grandchildren and for the generations to come. And it starts with all of you that are out here teaching people to be assholes. Well, she said it and they said it and everybody else does it. I know, I'm trying to teach you not to do what everyone else does, to walk with a different code of ethics, to be the bigger man, to lead by example. Really? Yeah. Which is overcoming your fears. You know what I mean? And empowering you. Seriously, not to be so disempowered by the shit you're going through and not sink to the levels of desperation just because you're going through hard times. Hard times don't have to make you a desperate person, bro. You don't have to be savage because things aren't going your way. When the oracle comes to you, it's being suggested that you learn to read between the lines. This means listening for the truth behind the words that others use. And that's it. People are filters. They filter everything. They're very careful of what they're saying. They're trying to tell you something, but they can't. Have you ever tried to look at your partner and ask them, you know something's on their mind, and you ask them, but they say nothing? They don't mean to lie to you, and you know they are, but they literally can't put it in words, or they can't share it with you. They can't share their thoughts. Why? Everybody's persecuted. If you knew what I was thinking. I know what you're thinking. It's all over your face. Really? That's what it is. You have to learn how to read between the lines, especially with people. There's a lot of nonverbal communication that happens. They tell on themselves without saying much. They want you, that's what it is. Every person wants to get caught. They always teach you that in criminology. A criminal wants to get caught, meaning they want you to know, but they don't want you to know. Really? Yeah. As I said that, I saw Russ. What his Holy Spirit, his higher self, tells me all his dirty secrets. I mean, who do you think told on that girl last night? Really? You know this stuff. I listen. If you shut up for a minute, you'd hear a lot more in the quiet. It never stops talking. Really? People are loud. Their intentions are loud. Their movements are loud. Their feelings are loud. Their thoughts are loud. Really? You can look at a person. This is how it works. And you can ask yourself internally, what the fuck are they doing? Your brain will come up with two options. One, the most logical, and one very imaginative. What do you think is the true answer right there? All right. It means to look for the truth in action. It also means to be open to what you feel or sense, or someone just knows, even if they don't seem to match appearances. And that's it. I just feel it in the wind. I'm like, oh, it's a no-go. I just feel it. I feel people. How do you feel all that? When you work through your own feelings, in the beginning, all you can feel is how terrible you feel and how irritated you are and how you just are bothered. In the beginning, you work through all your bothersome feelings. Now, as you start to remove these feelings, the only way to remove them is understanding where they come from, right? So then, as you take this feeling off, you know what it is. Now you take it off. You no longer feel that way about yourself. But a person will come up and you'll feel that way again. And you know what this feeling is. And you know it wasn't your feeling. This person made you feel this way, or you felt this feeling around this person. That's one of two things. One, it's 100% their energy that you're catching, or two, they're triggering you into a hurt energy. Realistically, yeah, but it all comes from the energy that just stepped in. It's either theirs completely or it triggered yours. But you didn't feel like that. You only start to learn that later when you start working through your own feelings. In the beginning, you think everybody is making you feel some kind of way, but you have feelings about everything that people do. When you start to understand it's not people, but just your feelings that you're blaming them for, and you start to remove that, fine. That's how you clear your energetic field and you just feel chill like me. But then when I go outside or like I get on the elevator, I get a feeling from the person that's next to me. That's the sense. And it's you when you start to know what each of those feelings are, you know what you're getting off of this person. Now the same thing happens. I can go into a room and read the room. I can go straight outside and be like, oh, nope, God says no. He said, don't go outside today. Really? Yep, he said, don't leave the yard. It's bad out there. Really? I can just feel it. That's what it is you learn it. It's all feelings. But for someone that's denying every single one of their feelings, you have no intuitional gifts. So going back to someone like Wolfman, and I know he feels like he's under attack. Everybody kind of feels that way. Why are you talking about me? I'm using you as an example. You are human, are you not? So, anyways, Wolfman's all logical. He's all brute force and, egotistical. And it's all got to be what makes sense to the mind. The spirit doesn't make sense to the mind, it goes against the mind's knowing. So, if you always are trying to make sense of things, you're never going to be able to enter into the other realms because you're keeping a logical 3D viewpoint on everything. You see everything as solid, and this is this, and if you do this, this will happen. You leave no room for chance. In your mind, you believe that A plus B equals C, and you're, in the D. That's not how it works. And that's where, you know what I mean? We break physics, and they call that phenomenon or or paranormal experiences. Paranormal means it's out of the norm. So, again, a person like him that's always trying to see things through and always trying to see things the way that, looking too hard through his own two eyes is never going to be able to see outside of the picture he wants, dude. He wants to see things the way he wants to see them. And only when he does altered states of ego, where he does drugs or alcohol or ayahuasca, these weird things, you know what I mean, depravities to the body, can he get out of his mind and have this out of mind, out of body experience. All you got to do is work through your mind and experience everything through the body. People are always trying to escape their body and their reality instead of just destroying it and creating a better place. You live inside of your mind. So you're all day you're trying to redirect it and feed it bullshit. You're trying to keep it busy so you don't think about stuff you don't want to think about. You're avoiding your own thoughts and your own feelings. So that indeed, according to science, makes you a fucking narcissist. You have no empathy or sympathy for your own self. So therefore, you do not have a characteristic that you can give to others. You deny your own feelings and your own thoughts. So therefore, you're not sensitive to anybody else's feelings or thoughts because you don't understand the range of your own thoughts to understand the range of someone else's. You're like, what the fuck were they thinking? You don't understand how thoughts work. They got from here, and you're trying to understand how they got here. That's called investigative work. You don't have to be psychic to understand this. Once you start working through your own thoughts and understanding how you jump to conclusions, how this thought made you think this, but that was just logical thinking based on reality, and that had you fucked. Well, I thought this was going to work out. Yeah, according to all science, this looked like this was going to be a good deal. This was a shoe-in. This was a get-rich-quick scheme. But you didn't take into consideration the unseen, which was this was never meant for you. This was never going to work out for you. This was never right for you. No, but in your mind, you know what I mean? Your one-track mindset, like Lewis, it's like, no, it's gold or nothing. You're golden. You're part of the Golden Girls. Just want you to understand that. You can't have any of this when all you worry about is the things of this world. You have to exit that whole mentality. Perhaps especially then. If you want more information about a situation, person, or decision you need to make or have recently made to know the best way to go when faced with the various options, this oracle brings you guidance. The oracle says that the information you need is right before you in the energetic field. Trust yourself. Tune in. You can find out what you need by reading the energy. And that's where you need to understand yourself. If you're at odds with yourself, you need to understand where it's coming from. You're having friction with yourself, right? You really want to do something, but you're not taking action in it. So there's right there, that's called a blockage in the spiritual world. You have a blockage. Now then we can go into where are you blocked? Is it your heart chakra? Is it your solar plexus? Is it your sacral? Is it your, you know what I mean? Where are you blocked? Where's this blockage that you can't do what your heart is calling you to do? Is it fear? And is it that you can't overcome your fears? I'm too scared. I'm too scared. Oh, I'm seeing that shit. There used to be this terrible show. It probably still exists on TV. It's called The X Factor. And they used to put people in like boxes with bugs. Really? These people were terrified of it. But if they wanted money, they were going to face their fears. And they do all kinds of creepy shit for entertainment just so they could get some money. It defies all their fears for some money, bro. Really? That's what it was. I don't know if it still exists, but that's what it is. It's like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? That's so funny that came out of my mouth. All right. Anyways, although you may feel you want a conclusive answer to a larger issue, all you really need to know is what to do next. By tuning into your feelings and trusting, you can sense the next step that feels best for you. And that's where we put ourselves in a state of panic, trying to go too far too fast, which is past today. Don't worry about tomorrow. If you start worrying about tomorrow, you're going to get stressed out. You're going to waste today worrying about tomorrow. Really? Yeah, bro. You have to take it as slow as the day goes. Really, the days come and go, but you're planning for a future that is probably never going to come, and you're wasting your present on that. Like, no, I'm planning for next weekend. What the fuck are you going to do? You're going to spend I move on Friday. Am I going to spend every day before Friday worrying about it? Speaking of which, I just want to point out I'm such an asshole. I was 8 o'clock in my phone, and I remembered my phone bill was due today. And if I don't pay this shit by 11:59 Central Time, which I don't know what time that is, I was like, I'm going to have to pay more money. I was like, damn, at least they reminded me, even if it was the last goddamn minute. And that's where God comes through. It's like, I knew it when I woke up this morning. Thank God for reminding me of what I needed to do today. Really? And that's what it is. Don't forget about your taxes. Gosh, damn it, God. I was supposed to be there 5 minutes ago. Hey, at least I reminded you. Really? Seriously. Don't waste your days thinking about a future that's not certain. By doing that, you're you're playing the creator and you have an expectation and you're working hard towards your future. But whose future is this? Whose life are you trying to live? You're just trying to secure a future. None of us really know what that fucking looks like. And I can go back to 2 questions right now and put you on your ass. What amount of money in your bank account can make you be free now and you can stop working? What number? And you can't give up. If I rub the genie and I say, and that's what happened. I'll never forget that in Arizona. Ooh, the Holy Spirit got that bitch good. Really came straight out of my mouth. I witnessed the whole thing. If I told you came to me and I asked you these 2 questions, How long do you want to live for? What age is appropriate for you to die? Could you give me a number? What number do you want? If you could choose of your own free will when you're going to die, what fucking goofy number are you going to give me? Secondly, the second question, how much money do I have to give you for you to be free and go live your life and feel safe? You can't put a number on it. Neither one of those. But those are the two numbers that you're striving for in this life. You're trying to get the first number, how much money in your bank, as high as you can get it. And as long as you can live. You want your life to go as long. Some of you want to turn to me and say, I want to live to be 100. Bro, I'm here till 99. Are you fucking serious? Do you know what your body will look like? Nobody said you were going to look like this at 100. What do you want to do in those 100 years, in that 100-year war with yourself and with humanity? Okay, fine. I'll let you live till 100. Now, how much money do I got to give you so that right now you start living for the rest of your years? That I can give it to you and you'll walk away from this life and you'll go have a life now. You'll stop trying to be friends. You'll stop trying to do all this. There's no more striving for anything. It's all for money. I'll give it to you. How much money do you need to retire? Is it $1 million? $4 million? $400 million? $500 million? $1 billion? $2 billion? If I give you $2 billion right now and I let you live till 100, you're going to live right by God. You're going to be a joyful person. You're going to be a kind person. You're going to be generous. You're going to be the light for the rest of humanity. If I just give you those two things, I let you live for as long as, or what, you want 115 years? You want to be the oldest man alive and the richest? Who am I talking to right now? I'm talking to your inner child, bro, that's going crazy because you know it's true. You just realized something. Didn't you? It doesn't matter how much is in your bank account or how long you live. When are you going to start living right? And that's what I mean. You're trying to secure a future till you live till 60. Who the fuck said you were going to live till 60? And how much money do you need so that you'll be safe at 60? How much do you have to make now so that you're safe at 60 if you make it till 60? You have to use all your body to make all that money. You have to put your back into it. You have to sacrifice your relationships. You got to sacrifice children, all of that. For how much money? And then from 60 to 100, you can live good. You'll be a good person. You don't need anything no more. Now you can go be a blessing to other people. If I give you how much money at 60? No, guys, it's not money and it's not age. It's now. Now, as Jesus said, the time is now. You don't have to be rich to live a rich life. And you don't have to be young and you don't have to be grown to live for today. Your future is determined by what you do today. Most people have really terrible lives with only a couple of good days. Do you know what makes a good life? A bunch of good days. Do you know how you have a good day? You seize your day and you don't waste it chasing the things of this world to be pleasing to other people as a fucking show off. Oh, I had a hard day's work. Let me show everybody what I did with my day and what I have to bring home to everybody. I am man. Hear me roar. I have created a paycheck. Come on, guys. By turning to your feelings and trusting, you can sense the next step that feels best for you. As you continue to work in that way, tuning into what feels best. This is a deep teaching. My teachings are so good. Really, the spirit inside of me, they're good. I get to be part of something bigger than myself, and it makes people better than themselves. And I'm glad that They taught me, and I get to be part of the teaching process. I'm grateful for my position. I'm grateful for my gifts. They were such a curse in the beginning, and I was so afraid of them, ashamed of them, embarrassed by them. I didn't want anyone to know that I mean, I was telling people, but I didn't want the persecution that came with being the Holy Spirit, being blessed, being baptized in the Holy Ghost. I always had it. I always sensed spirits and all that stuff. That's why they called me lucky for all those years, because they thought it was a sense of luck, but it was just guidance. You know what I mean? Just knowing when to move, when not to, when to get out of situations, when to get into them, when to, you know what I mean? Play the cards and when to fold. You know what I mean? When to stay and when to walk away. As you continue to work in that way, tuning into what feels best, and that's where you go with it. You're like, oh, I don't got a good feeling about this. You trust your feelings more than what your eyes tell you and what your mind tells you. The mind lies to you all the time, guys. It doesn't want the worst to be true. And that goes back to when you got cheated on, and I'll assume that all of us have, your mind knew it before you accepted it. Before you had proof, your guts knew before your mind, and your mind did not want to accept the truth. It lies. Why? It's just trying to protect you from a painful truth because it doesn't want you to feel, your mind's there. It's your inner masculine, your warrior. It's there to protect you. When the world fails you, your mind comes in and boosts you up, and but at the same time it can terrorize you and tear you down too. It can only repeat what it's been told. The shit you put into it is the shit that it puts into you. So you got to be careful with that. And that's where it's like, you can look at someone and your mind is like, this is a whole bad person. But your heart, Jesus, is like telling you to give him a chance. Like, I don't know, bro. Your heart's like, no, I'll give him a chance. And that's what I mean. And in the same token, your mind's like, yeah, it's going to be fun. Your heart's like, no way, Pinocchio. You stay your ass at home. You're not going to play with those kids. No, they're great kids, God. Nope. And that's it. Your mind can't see what the spirit already knows. Careful. It's a massive fight against the mind. But it's not to silence the mind, but get the mind to trust the heart. This is all about you trusting your heart. And when you do, and you walk in that, people, you know what I mean, your heart space, it reflects to others and it teaches them how to open their heart and how to trust it too. Really? Yeah. As you continue to work in that way, tuning into what feels best, taking a step, then turning in again, proceeding one step at a time in trust, you don't feel a blinding vision of truth, or you don't need a blinding vision of truth to proceed. You are already proceeding. In this way, you allow yourself to be guided by the energy. Okay, so here's an example. I'm getting closer. So I don't move in until the middle of of March. And so my mind's like, well, now I only have 2 months to get a job. But I had to remind it. Remember, God has a job for us. And then when the mind's like, well, I don't know. And it's like, remember all the things you didn't know and God provided. And then I reminded myself, remember, we have a brand new computer over there. And there's still a man working to look for us a job. We're okay. The mind gets weary. Out of nowhere, it starts to worry about the future, worry if things are going to be okay. What if it's just an inner child that's trying to protect you, but at the same time, it's scared about the future? It's your job to comfort it in the knowing of God. And the only way it can know God is when you start trusting it and it sees that God works. My mind can't see God, but I have to remind it all the time that God's working. When nothing's happening, and that's what happens, you have to remind it, God's working. No, but what if I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something? We're not doing enough. And what if I don't do this and then something bad happens? Calm down. God didn't tell us to do that. No, but we're supposed to do that. I see why you think that. Everybody does that, but God didn't say for us to do that. He'll tell us what to do. And that's what it says right here, taking one step and then tuning in again, meaning this was a big step for me. Now let me hold still in this step. Let me stand strong in this step. It's one block at a time of faith. He calls you just a little step at a time, just like a baby. He doesn't want you to fall. Just take one step. Okay, stay there. Let me get my camera. Let me take a picture of you. You're standing on your own 2 feet in faith. Don't falter. I'm going to catch you. Stay there. Okay, now come on. Take another step. And that's it. You don't know what the next step is because he didn't show you. And you're supposed to stay there and wait till he shows you what to do next. He barely showed you. You know what I mean? You've only had one. He's been showing you this one step forever that you were too afraid. He didn't expect that you're ready to take 5 steps. After that big one, he needs you to realize what a big step you just took and how proud he is and what a change that meant and how that felt. Before he has to get you ready for that next big step in faith. I've made it this way because I did what they call as those initiations. Ever since the beginning of my videos. I don't know, guys, something's pulling me. Something's calling me. Something's guiding me. I didn't know what it was. I just knew I had to do this. Why are you going to Yuma? I don't know. Why are you going to Arizona? I was drinking a tea and it popped out to me and I knew I had to go. Really? Yeah, God's visions and his, and that's it. They're like, she's fucking crazy. Yeah, but then I was in an air-conditioned room, you know what I mean, with, my own private room with a bedroom and fucking bathroom and everything. You didn't know what I was going to, and neither did I. And I was scared. But I knew that this is where I was supposed to go because that was the only place to go. That was the only thing. I was running out of time, and I'm waiting for God to tell me where to go. And I reached down to grab my Arizona iced tea as I'm about to, in the middle of my video, and the Arizona is staring at me. I heard you. And I'm like, in my mind, it's like the birds fly south for the winter, and everybody goes to Arizona. They go down there during the winter. So I think that I'm going to Arizona to go more camping. And I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to go. And then I remember Yuma. Why'd you go to Yuma? Not Phoenix, not Tucson. I never knew anything about Phoenix or Tucson. I knew Yuma because people spoke of it when I lived in San Diego. It was right outside of San Diego. And I was familiar with that word because of Yuma, Colorado. So that's how I went. And I made a video of like, well, my spirit said I'm going to Arizona, and I guess I'm going to Yuma. What's there? I don't know. Only when I was 15 minutes outside of town, which is, I've already been driving for 2 days. I don't know where I'm going. 15 minutes outside of town, God tells me, I get a vision. He said, call the resource center and see if they have a place for you. I did not expect this. I did not expect that he drove me 2 states away to put me in a homeless shelter. Why did he do that? Oh, that's what came next. And that's where it is. It's like, I didn't expect that. When I got to Mr. Plum's, I told Mr. Plum I wasn't supposed to get a job or put the kids in school. Well, what are you supposed to do? I'm supposed to wait, Mr. Plum. He's going to tell me what to do. He didn't like that, bro. He learned by my second route how that works. He definitely saw me sit there and wait and miracles pour down. He saw my spirit talk to me and shit happen. He saw it so much that he didn't doubt it ever again. But in the beginning, no, nobody trusted it. I didn't even know what it was, but I was following it. It was an inner voice and visions. I followed it all across America. Really? And it brought me straight back home. You think the grass is greener, but you do need to go and you need to see the lands and bring those stories back to your home. You need to travel for those that can't leave the pastures. Really? Yeah. Just want to tell you that, it's gut feelings, and your mind is not so sure about this, and everybody else is 100% against this. It's walking in faith. You are already proceeding. In this way, you allow yourself to be guided by the energy. Even in a situation that seems very confusing, you can move one step at a time towards the resolution. You don't have to see how each step is going to add up to the final resolution. You just need to take each step. I said that, and I just shared it with Kobe. You just don't give up on yourself. You keep pushing yourself. Lewis thinks it's pushing himself on a track. He'll never understand what diversity means. He's never done anything but the same thing he's always done. On the same tracks he's always done it. He thinks by getting in a new car, this is a new adventure. Okay. To do this, ask yourself what your choices are at the moment. Remember that sometimes a choice is to wait until you feel inwardly moved and inspired to act. Then you ask yourself how each choice feels. Go through your options one at a time. What feels good? What feels fearful? What feels like it gives rise to anxiety? What feels like it has pulled to it? As soon as I said that, I saw Bobby. I hate that. I hate the feelings that he invokes. But it's not limited to him, it's the twin flames. You avoid them. I hate those stupid twin flame fucking, lovey dovey bullshit. No, you avoid this motherfucker. This motherfucker makes you feel all kinds of fucked up ways. Really? Welcome to the twin flame journey. And that's it. I avoid my twin flames. What do they give you? Rise to anxiety? Fearful? They feel good, but then they bring all of these terrible feelings to the surface. Ugh. Doesn't make it a bad person, but you avoid people that bother you, that bother your flesh. You don't take the time to realize what you're so bothered by. And that's what I had to realize. Really? I don't like how you make me fucking feel. And yet, I love how you make me feel. Really? You have to learn to work with it. What feels like it has a pull to it? What is drawing your energy forward? And what would diminish your energy putting you down? I think I said that. I sent that today. It's like, I think I told him, I feel you. Really? Yeah, you can feel them pulling on you, thinking about you. For me, it's a frequency, it's a noise. You know that ringing in your ear? It started like that. Each of them were like a choir. They had a different ringing in each ear. Now they're just more like a buzzing that goes down my spine. Really? The loudest one I learned finally the last time is Russ. He's the loudest. Really? Oh man, he tries to be though. He's that Paimon from hell. It's like here comes Russ. You know it's Russ when the whole system's vibrating. It's like here comes all the bass, his loud ass. He must have posted something. He sends out a frequency, I'll tell you that. And that's just me too. How do I make you feel? Plants don't need logical understanding to be able to reach for the light. It is an instinct. You have the same natural instinct to be attracted to the light. So, what will nurture and nourish you to the best choice for you? When intellectual reasoning and logic is not giving you the certainty you need, you can tap into the intristic. I can't say it. That's twice today. I couldn't say that word. I don't know. Intuition within you. I don't know. I can't pronounce it. Intuition within you and resource. That's what's wrong with Royce. Really? God took away his tongue. He can read it, but he can't speak it. Anyways, really? Intristicative. That's what it was. Intristicative. That doesn't sound right to me. That's probably why I didn't say it. Intuition within you and source wisdom instead. I was like, I'm not Royce. I can say this word. Try harder, bitch. This is what you can access when you read the energy. Really? Yeah. It doesn't make sense to anyone else. They don't see. And it's not really like you can see. You can just sense. You are also being asked to apply this talent to read energy to yourself to learn how to more skillfully meet your needs. The more you are able to care for yourself, the more spirit can ask of you. The more you can give, the more you can receive. To step up on your life's journey requires that you go deeper in mastery of self-care. And that's where I said your self-sacrificing ways are not pleasing to God. God lives within you, and you sacrificing yourself or God that's inside of you for the pleasure of other people. I can say this from a woman's standpoint. Me sacrificing my body for a man's love is not pleasing to God that lives within me. That's simplistic. So then when I go back to Russ, who's sacrificing his manhood to his family, that's not pleasing to God who lives within you. You know what I mean? To to Bobby, who's doing it for his family, to these things. It's like you're sacrificing yourself for other people's happiness, but God lives happily within you, and you're not showing God happiness inside of you. You let God live happily in everyone else, but you don't honor the God inside of you. You're they tell you, they get real specific in the teachings of your body and what you put, and that's where it is too. Is my spirit guides me to eat things that I wouldn't, because God lives within me. The spirit lives within me. It gets to enjoy my life, and my life is an expression. We live this life together. You know what I mean? As a wholeness. I'm here having the human experience, but through my experience, all is experience, to the universe. I get to, as the witness, I get to tell them, and the future. I tell you, I can see visions of them watching my videos in the way, way future. I get to tell them what it felt like to be me on a day, what I went through. And that's what they call as reality, but your reality is false. My whole documentary, you know what I mean, what I teach you is what it feels like to be a spirit having a human experience. It requires for you to go deeper into a mastery of self care. And that's having that. You start loving yourself more than you love other people. They'll start to call it selfish at first. But when you start making yourself a priority, then other people will have more respect for you. It's self respect. When you care about yourself, it forces other people to care about you. And that's what I was talking about yesterday. I was like, people want to be important, but they don't care. So why should we care? Why should we care about your feelings when you don't care about your feelings? This may require more attention for you than others may need, right? The spiritual journey brings much joy, but it asks a lot of body, mind, and soul to grow and transform. Those of you who have given a lot of your path already will know that evolution can be demanding. As you tap into the complexity and the wonder of your being, you will notice you have many and varied needs: for rest, for light, for time to hibernate in solitude, for sleep, for staying out late, for socializing, for fun, for lightness of spirit, for depth, and for meaning. You need an outlet for your creative energy, for your mental energy, for your physical energy, and your spiritual energy. If one of these energetic flows feels blocked, you won't feel good. And that's what I have to do throughout the week. I've got to tend to all layers of my being. I have to make sure that I'm mentally fit. I have to make sure that I'm physically fit. And that doesn't mean training, pushing the body. And that doesn't mean only giving it fruits and vegetables. I have to make sure, above all things, that my spirit is right, because my spirit has to be able to carry my body when it can't carry itself. My spirit has to be able to control the mind when it's out of control. My spirit has to be able to calm the emotions. So you have to have a good spiritual PhD. But in order to get that is balancing these layers so that your spirit, your higher self, can take over the body and start this fight with you. Right now, it's just you, your lower version, trying your hardest to be your better version. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Commit to yourself. And that's all I did, guys. I didn't matter to the world until I mattered to myself. When I realized how important I was to God, that's when people realized how important I was. I had to realize that, And then as far as the care of me, I didn't care for me. I spent my whole life caring for everybody else until I fell apart. And I realized I needed to be taken care of, and I am the only one that can take care of me. And if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of anybody else. So my only priority was to figure out what was wrong with me. I really truly thought I was just having a midlife crisis and I could get over this in like a season. I figured I could, it started over, Christmas and winter, and I figured I could be done with this by fucking, summer. No. Trying to just understand what was wrong with my thoughts and why my feelings were all out of control and why I didn't feel good in my life led me way off the Richter scale. But that's where it got me because I was just trying to balance my thoughts and understand my feelings. And that's where my spirit came in. I started going against what I thought and I started fighting my feelings, my urges, my impulses, my patterns, the way that I lived. My spirit was telling me to do things against my better knowing, and I would do them, and I made videos. It was so hard. I would make these, I would say something to somebody and then my mind would drive me crazy and I would feel terrible about it and it didn't feel good, but I kept doing these things according to what my spirit was saying, even though it didn't feel good to do it, and my mind was against it and everybody else was. And by doing that, I was growing my spirit until finally my spirit was stronger than my mind. And now I wasn't reaching outside of me, but I'm inside of here and I've got control over this body now. And I do what my spirit says. I listen to the mind because that's how it got me here. I honor my feelings because that's what got me here. You know what I mean? When my mind is acting up like it did on Friday, that was that dark night of the soul, I let it go. I need to be heard. It's my mind is full of anxiety, it's freaking out, it's not trusting. The unhealed part of me is coming up and it's going to come out. Now, again, I hid all of my feelings, all of my pains, all of my sufferings. So people didn't know how to deal with me until they started to understand what was I was hiding. Then they had more compassion, more sympathy, more empathy, more sensitivity to what they were dealing with. They couldn't understand because I didn't give them understanding. I hid what was wrong with me from even me. So when I started to care about me and I started to show how important it was that I needed to care for myself, people outside of me understood how important it was for them to care for themselves, but also how to have compassion for a hurt person that's hiding it and how hurt a person is and how well they hide it. You know what I mean? And so my healing, when it became important to me, it became important to everyone outside of me. And that's what this is, you know what I mean? When you make yourself important and not self-imposed importance like these guys. I'm the rap god, or you need me, or you're going to be nothing without me, or those kind, no. And you just think all, Kanye, that you're a gift, you know what I mean? That's self-imposed importance. You understand the true importance of caring for yourself is what this talks about. And that's what I said. It's like I spend all day taking care of myself, which is what? That, my creative energy, it needs to flow. I'm very creative. I got to put this somewhere. My mental energy. You know what I mean? I have mental agility that needs to be placed somewhere. I need to be feeding it. I'm hungry for information. I like knowledge and wisdom. My physical energy. I get filled with and I get bored. I got to do something with this body. I got to go for a walk. I got to burn some of this energy. You know what I mean? Or it's just tired. I'm old. I'm 43 years old and I do things, you know what I mean? Like earlier, I had to call for help. I tried to carry all the groceries in and I was like, come to this elevator and come get a bag. Sometimes I think I can do things that my body just can't do anymore. And sometimes, I get tired. I have to acknowledge that the body isn't young like it was. I can't always do things. I have to take care of myself. Sometimes my emotions. Why are my emotions going all crazy? Because my body's weak and there's too much going on. And so all day I'm trying to, you know, keep my energy fields. And that's what it is. I work on me all day. I'm not working on you. Really? And that's what it is. If I even look at you and how much work you need to do, I'm running away. But if I know that you're sitting around working on you as I'm working on me, I feel safe. I feel like you're going to get it just as quick as you just when I get it. And as long as we're working on ourselves, then we're going to get better. But if I'm over here just doing all the work and you're just sitting there scratching your head being an asshole, then we don't align. Anybody that thinks that they're as good as they get, then please get away from me. I work with the Holy Spirit that tells me every day that I can always be better. That's the spirit of Kobe Bryant. I call it him because he's the one that's been there since the beginning, pouring this shit on me. He will be there first thing tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. And he was the one that is like, baby steps to getting better. What is better? Always, there's no, your best version is you always mastering what you are today and being better than that tomorrow. But only when we take the time to stop and see what we were yesterday can we see, you know what I mean, how to be better tomorrow. And that goes back to it. Everything I do, I sit back and reflect real hard. Did you handle that right? Did you pattern? Did you know what I mean? Kobe taught me that. Reflection, inner reflection. Stop judging everyone else. Start looking at yourself real deep. Why did you do that? Why did you say that? Where did it come from? Could you have said something else? Did it need to be said? Did you need to say more? Should you have said less? How was your tone? And that's it. I'm just trying to master myself as I get out there. When I get out there, it's you know what I mean. The world it's a lot, and I just got to master myself so I ain't triggered and I ain't reacting and I ain't bothered and I ain't being like everybody else. That I'm being the best version of what God wants me to be, which is light. But don't expect that I won't put my dark skin on. And we talked about that earlier in the Cali. Don't think for 1 minute that I am Jesus. One of a kind, bro. But not really. Buddha was that. They're not one of a kind. I'm just not that kind, but we can be kind like kind people are. You don't have to be kind your whole life to be kind. You don't have to, you could have had a negative life your whole life and then become a positive type person. After you get over that negative mindset, you can be a positive person. After being, you know what I mean, abused, you can still be useful. After being neglected, after all these things, you can still be of great use as long as you don't become what has been done to you. Don't sink to the same levels of the same shit. Well, they did it to me, as above, so below, an eye for an eye. If you can do it, I can do it. Nah, bro, let's try to be better than ourselves, than what our brain allows us to be. As you learn to get to know your own needs and what suits you and what doesn't suit you so well, you'll be increasing your ability to read your own energy and refine ways, as well as learning how to better heal and restore yourself on a regular basis. And that's it. I don't feel comfortable in places that I used to. So I don't go there. It's not that you know what I mean? That's just it. Your energetic field changes. This empowers you to be a more attentive friend, partner, healer, manager, parent, guide, and so on, as well as a better caretaker of you. The better you care for yourself, the better you can care for others. And self care isn't about, you know what I mean? I say self care rituals, which is usually just fucking feminine bullshit. But, self care is really just honoring what you need, your needs, and not denying them and then getting mad at everyone else because they don't realize that you're needy of time, energy, space, solitude, rest, food, love. You know what I mean? All these things. You want people to be psychic and know what you need, but you don't express your needs. And most of them, you really just need to give to yourself. And that's where it is. A lot of you feel like if somebody was to hold you, you would feel better. You need to know what it feels like to be whole in your own skin. As someone that never had someone to run to and hold, I learned how to hold myself. My own little white straitjacket where my arms are wrapped far around each other. And I'm out there looking crazy. Really? Yeah, guys. The self-healing journey starts with self-love, but at the same time, it's a lot of self-discipline, self-sacrifice, and self-control. That's how you master yourself. There comes a prayer with this and all this, but I'm not going to do it. Why? Because I want to encourage you to take this journey for yourself and invest in yourself and buy these. I get no fucking discount or nothing. I bought these out of my pocket too. Actually, I got them on discount. They were a used pack. Really? Yeah. And nobody knew how to use them. Inside of here, it's going to teach you all of the, not all, but it's going to teach you your archangels, your ascending masters, and your goddess energy. It's a trinity within. It's also going to teach you the gifts that they give you, as well as stones to keep by your side to incorporate these gifts and tap into these gifts when you are running low on that energy. Really? Now, for those that don't know, these are Lumerian seed clear quartz crystals. If I get close, you see you see those lines? Those are what we were talking about in my first video. That's from Lumeria. Those are light codes. Those are used to help you with shadow work. That's why they never leave the altar. Really? They help us dig into the places that we are running from. They shove us into it. Why? Because that's where the light is. The light is in our darkness. When we can go through our darkness, then we have the light ability to help other people in their darkness. But right now, everybody's just suffering. The blind leading the blind. Everybody else is just suffering, and everybody's trying to find a way to get out of suffering. And you guys think it's a long life with a big bank account. That's not true. There's many billionaires that have lived long lives that were never happy. In order to be a billionaire, you work really hard. So you give up your life for money to begin with. And that becomes your whole mindset. I'm going to be a billionaire, and you won't stop until you get there. And once you get there, you're still not satisfied. Lewis Hamilton said he was going to be a world championship fucking Formula One driver. He got that real early in life, but he wasn't satisfied. He wanted more. More life? No, just more of that feeling. He wanted to do what he already had done. He knew it could be done, so he wanted to do it again. Rather than trying to get gold in another field, he wanted to do what he'd already done, something that kept him comfortable. So then he got another one, but he still wasn't happy. Lewis has he's a 7-time world champion. Okay, now, before I knew Lewis, I knew Vicky. Who's Vicky? Vicky Gomez is a Red Bull, Red Bull sponsors him. He is a BMX 7-time champion. He has a beautiful wife and a beautiful daughter. They're from Spain. They travel. They do all kinds of wonderful things. They are a happy family. Vicky rides a bike. He does ballerina tricks on this bike, and he is a champion for it. He shows beauty and something of the inner child. Lewis is in a man's sport where at any moment you can lose your life, and it's all about competitiveness. And really what it is a fight of engineering. What is the better car? Now, what you don't know about Formula One that my dad taught me is each season they use this data and these dynamics and all of this engineering to design the next street car. Ferrari's going to use all this information to design the next 2027 Ferrari based on the information they got probably from 2025. That's what my dad told me. He knows all about it. He's all into race cars and all that shit. Now, the thing is like, you can be great at one thing, maybe, or you can be great at many things. But if you limit yourself to one thing, then that's all you're good at. Russ has only done one thing with his life, which was music. Marshall's only done one thing. These people have only done one thing. They're considered great in their field. They're big fish in their small ponds. But in the ocean that we all swim in, they have no skills. None of those skills are helpful in the real life. All that wordplay isn't going to get you fed out here in the streets. Really? Yeah. I just want to point that out. Now, I'd like to encourage you guys again to take a dive into spirituality and maybe make a purchase. Like, I don't know where a spiritual store is. Go to walmart.com. They fucking have fucking connections. They're a consignment store. And for any of you that want to sell something, go consign with Walmart. Really? Yep, they'll put your shit on the website and then you pay them a small portion for advertisement. And that's how it works. Ta-da! Welcome to Business 101. Did I tell you I studied business in college? What good is that now? I mean, I'm running my own business, don't you think? God's business. Really? Yeah, this is about your intuitive knowings and trusting your spirit, the Holy Ghost, your guts, and honoring your thoughts. And realize, first off, dickheads, you're not your thoughts. They come from a real place, but they're not who you are. If you let them run wild, then you're just going to do whatever stupid thought pops in your head. You're not your feelings either. You don't feel bad all the time. You're not a bad person. There's not something wrong with you because you're not happy all the fucking time. Who the fuck is? Realistically, just be calm. That's good enough. Walking around with a jolly face on your face all the time makes you a little suspicious, I think. What are you so happy about? I don't know. Realistically, I'm just saying that. There's flows to it, but you need to understand that. You need to understand the layers to your being and take care of them. And in the beginning, bro, in the awakening, it's just like a baby being born. If there's one thing I can tell you, you're tired. All you do is cry and sleep. You're processing thoughts, you know what I mean? Repressed thoughts and feelings that just break your heart. And it breaks the emotional ups and downs of just dealing with your own thoughts and your own feelings is just exhausting. So you're literally just a baby. All you fucking do is sit around eating, crying, shitting, and sleeping. You want a safe place to do this. You don't want people to watch you go through this transformation. It's pretty hard to watch. People watched Kanye and they did everything to try to stop it, and they made it so much worse. And now he's a funky caterpillar that can't fly. Really? You shoved him right back into a caterpillar form. He's very funky. You don't want people to see you fall apart when you spent your whole life, you know what I mean, to put yourself together. You really had yourself together. But this process is going to break you apart. And it's because you need to break in and get to the core of your being and start acknowledging that. The first part is you're not happy. Everybody has to realize that. Start with the root of the problem. I'm not happy. All right? Let's go through the list of all the things that you're not happy with. I'm not happy with my job. I'm not happy where I live. I'm not happy with the person I'm with. I hate my car. I don't even like my clothes. All right. Let's start changing some of that and bring some happiness. What do you want to get rid of first? The clothes? The car? The job? The lover? If you want happiness, we've got to get rid of these things that are making you unhappy. That's what you don't want to hear. You want to be happy in an unhappy situation. You want somebody to wave a wand and make things better. You put yourself in an unhappy situation. Lord forbid a bitch like me comes up and tells you, you're in a fucking unhappy life. You're not successful. You're not mature. You're not established. I'm threatening your identity that you portray to everyone. But all I'm trying to do is make you acknowledge it. And I won't. Bobby, you're not, he finally stopped telling me it. It's like, you're not going to make me believe you have a happy life. He finally started admitting it. You're not going to make me believe the bullshit you tell everyone else and that you tell yourself. I don't believe your lies. I can see you're not happy. Just because you deny it to yourself and to everyone else, I know what happiness looks like. This isn't happiness. And that's why you're like, you don't know. Really? You guys, I'm sure they're about to do it. We're waiting for it, right? Here comes their April 7th celebration where Russ celebrates his happy relationship with his girlfriend on her birthday. They show how happy they are together. Do they look like a happy relationship to you, or they look like something you want? Do they look happy together? Look at them. Don't tell me what they have. Tell me what you feel when you look at these people. That's what I mean. Your brain will tell you this is what happiness looks like, but your guts know better. And that's where, you know what I mean? They'll lie to you. They'll scream at you because you're disrupting their reality, which is the lie they're living. You're not happy, and you're mad that I can see it. And then I'm telling people that you're not as put together as you're trying to be. How do I know that? Because it's obvious. It's that simple. You know what happiness looks like. You know when a person carries joy. And that's me. It's like I'm carefree. And that pisses people off. They want what I have, but they don't want to do the work to get it. You want to be carefree, then give your burdens to God. It's not that simple. Well, then hold on to them. That's where I am. Then hold on to your problems. Hold on to your problem child. Hold on to your pain. Hold on to your suffering. Jesus said you could be free. You don't want to hear that from the Wicked Witch of the West? Well, Wild Wild West on that ass. Really? Yeah, I'm glad we got through this. You're going to need this crystal. I didn't do the prayer. Damn it. They're like, why didn't you power up the crystal for them? I'm the only one that can do that. Really? I'm the only one with the belief. I'm the only one that can see my energy in an etherical form and put my energy into something. What do I typically do? I do the prayer and I charge this picture with my energy, my intentions, and then I tell you to focus on it so that you can receive it. Really? Well, those that believe receive. But if you don't, you're like, she's crazy. Well, then change the channel. Why am I taking the time to visualize my energy and put it into something for you? Why don't I just put it back in my body? Why do I need to bother with giving it to you? Because I have universal energy and you don't got shit. And I'm trying to give you the good feelings that God has given in me. I'm trying to give you the powers that he's given in me, but realistically, it lies within you. I can only accelerate what is already happening inside of you. I don't really have that ability. I can't wake people up that are dead of sleep. I can't push you into the light when, you know what I mean? I can guide you, but you know what I mean? Just like that. If you're in the dark, like B, you just want to be angry and you want to be upset and you don't want to give this up. You want to be heard and you want to run to everyone about how wrong this is. I've heard you and I've been wrong the same way and I overcame it and this is how to overcome it. And I tried to give her the light. No, I don't want to stand in the light. I want to be in the dark and I want to feel bad about this and I want everyone else to feel bad for me. I'm leaving you in your darkness now. And that's really what it is. You don't want to talk about your parents. You don't want to talk about your lovers. You don't want to talk about it. But every time anyone does, you're angry and you're hurt and you're all kinds of fucked up. Why don't you deal with it instead of running from it? Really? That's how you become free of it. It's not going anywhere. Your thoughts aren't going anywhere. Your feelings aren't going anywhere. As much as you try to stuff food, alcohol, entertainment, people, places, and things to make you forget, you're not me. And I don't wish that on anybody. Because now I got to spend the rest of my life remembering all the terrible things I spent my whole life forgetting. And all it did was make me mentally and emotionally immature because I wouldn't face it. I didn't learn from it. So I kept experiencing it. And even now, I still have to sometimes feel the pain again so I can understand it. Why did God take me to a homeless shelter in Yuma? To remind me that I was homeless once. He reminded me by being in a shelter I got my memories back of being in my first shelter. I have to get my memories triggered. I forgot. I forced myself to forget. I wanted to forget everything that ever happened to me that was bad. In doing that, I forgot everything that ever happened to me. I lost all my life's memories trying to forget the bad ones. But what I didn't realize is I kept repeating bad memories because I didn't learn from them. They just played out. My childhood played out in my teenhood, my teens into my 20s into my 30s. Only at 39 did I wake up and realize something was wrong and stop things. And it was hard. My spirit's telling me to stop talking to people. I don't understand why. It's trying to protect me because these people are taking advantage of me like I let everyone. It's trying to protect me from people and stuff, but I don't have the memory. I don't have the knowing to protect myself. So I keep walking into things because I've long forgotten that I've been through something like this and how it ends. You deny yourself the wisdom by running away from the lesson. And therefore, you repeat the lesson over and over and over because you were meant to learn this lesson. There's life lessons that each person has to learn. And it could take you your whole life because you've been running from this very lesson. But then you know what I mean? You wasted your life and you didn't even get past lesson number 1. I had a lot to learn. I learned universal knowledge, but that's where it is too. It's like, my life. You guys want to forget, and I'm telling you, I forgot everything. You don't want to forget. If you wish you could forget certain things, but it's harsh. You want to forget people. I literally did. I do all the time. I can still do it. Not my twin flames, not fully. I can get them out of my mind. But people, I forget them all the time. And that's just my pattern. Out of sight, out of mind. If I can get you out of my sight, I can get you out of my mind. And then you never existed. And that's what you guys hope for. You hope that you can erase your memories. If you erase your memories, you don't have the wisdom to go forward. The things you experienced made you wise. And if they didn't, then you didn't understand why you experienced them and you need to do it again. And that's your karma. Why does this keep happening? Because you're not understanding what you're supposed to learn. Once you learn the lesson, you won't go through it again. You'll never go through this again once you've learned your lesson. I learned my lesson. I'm not doing that again. Until you've learned it, you're still going to play with fire. And that goes back to criminals, drug addicts, alcoholics. They don't stop until they get caught, until they learn their lesson. Everybody knows that you're never supposed to drink and drive and the consequences, but everybody drinks and drives. Only when they get caught or something terrible happens or they almost, they scare themselves, scared stupid, scared straight, do they stop. You will continue to do bad behaviors until you're caught. And then when you learn your lesson, you won't do that again. Some lessons are easier learned than others. Some people don't learn their lesson. Really? I was talking to my daughter about, I think it was last week, we were talking about stealing. I was like, when I was a teenager, I stole. That's what I was talking about. The cigarettes. How did I start my cigarettes? When I was a teenager, stores, this was before they put them behind counters. They used to just have a display right out there like Pepsi Cola. Like right there, they call it an end cap. It was just a display in front of the registers where people could walk by and grab their cigarettes. In bars, you just put money into this thing and you pull a pack of cigarettes. You could just walk up and grab them. They didn't realize that this was a problem to youth until way later. They started keeping cigarettes away, not because of theft, but because it was affecting the youth. That's when they started putting them away. So in the beginning, I just stole cigarettes. I would walk into the store and I would steal. All right. I was like, and then they taught me how to steal liquor. I was like, liquor used to be the same thing. It was just a liquor aisle. Really? Yeah. And I would just walk in with a purse backpack and I would shove a bottle in my backpack at Food for Less and walk out. I'd have like hella bottles. I stole until I got caught. And then I learned my lesson. It wasn't worth it to me. If this is what happens when I do this, I don't want to do this no more. That's what happens. We're all kids. We're going to push it. We're going to see, fuck around and find out. And when we get caught, you're either going to deny it and continue to do it as a liar, or you're going to learn your lesson and you're probably not going to do that again. But if you don't learn the lesson, you'll continue to do the same shit until you learn it. You become a serial something, whatever you're doing. It's like, you're a serial procrastinator right now. You're a serial avoider right now. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, you're avoiding this, so you're not learning it. So now you've become like a serial act of this shit. Like you just keep doing this shit. Like you're just never gonna learn from this, are you? Like you're never gonna learn, are you? God will never give up on you. He knows that you'll get this one day. And he will never give up on you wisening up. Really? Mm-hmm. As the oldest soul here on earth, back, the first made soul to live on this earth, did I learn my I know I'm learning them now. Took you all those lifetimes. Well, I had to look back, and that's what we're doing right now. I already lived all these lives. Now I look back at the lessons of those lives. Lilith's life was over, but now I get to come back and see what Lilith didn't know, and I get to do it again. I get to do it better. I get another chance to do it right. I had no knowing. Now I have all my lifetimes knowing to get it right this time. I had a million lives so I could get this right. I'm not fucking this up. You know how many lives I had to have so I could make the right decisions? It's still me without the knowing, but my higher selves know, and all I got to do is have the trust. My life, you know what I mean? My older selves have done this. I might be new in this life, but we done this before. Really? Yeah, and that's where you're like, I've never done this before. Your spirit's like, yeah, you have. You just say this every fucking life. Really? Seriously, though. Stupid shit like that. I was running around saying just stupid stuff. I'm not even going to repeat it because I'm going to laugh at myself. Trust yourself. You're the Holy Spirit within you. Honor God that's within you. And honor that you are not apart from God, but a part of God. And that God lives freely through you. God and Goddess, which would be me. Hi, my name is. Love yous. Laters. See you for Moon Day energy tomorrow. Laters, haters.